You're my speech teller, by the way. Good evening, friends, teachers, parents, and guests. This is our grade 8 graduation. It is an honor and a privilege to be standing here and speaking on behalf of my classmates, the graduating class of 2008-2009. Briar Park is our home away from home. We spend around 6 hours at school every day, go home, and probably hang out with our friends. So how long do you actually spend at home? About the same amount of time you spend at school. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Briar Park has given us many memories and so much laughter, from playing and eating at breaks, fooling around in class, working fiercely so the teacher doesn't get mad, playing sports, going on trips, having dances and spirit days, or just hanging out and having a good time with friends. Many of us started school in kindergarten with Mrs. Jackson or Mrs. Johnson, who is now Mrs. Benko, and finally, we've all made it here and received our diplomas to move on to North Park, or I guess if you're going to Others Day in high school. There are also some of us who didn't start school at Briar Park, but arrived here in another grade. But no matter what, everyone in this room today has experienced how great Briar Park is and how much school spirit we have. Most of us went to Brock University a few days ago, and when a certain song started to play, we were the loudest and only school dancing.
Yeah.
Everyone else probably thought we were crazy, but we didn't care. We were having fun and made the best out of our year-end trip. A lot of my friends would agree that was their best grade 8 memory. For the yearbook, we were asked what our favorite memory was, and several of us said Brock, even though we hadn't even had our trip yet. We already knew that it was going to be great. But Brock isn't the only memory we will carry with us through the years. Elementary school starts way back in kindergarten. First we learn stuff like how to print, count till 100, and say the alphabet. And then we learn other things like getting along in the sandbox, playing with blocks, or how it feels to scrape one of your limbs off the pavement. Then you go on to learn some more things like math in grade 1 and 2. But all of a sudden it hits you right in the middle of the chest like a heat-seeking missile. Homework. But you get used to it eventually, whether you liked it or not. We also got our first major project. You might remember having to build some sort of tower or building when we were learning about structures in grade 3. I remember making a lighthouse. Research projects came soon after that. The next year in grade 4, we became juniors and had a bathroom change. That was really cool for a bunch of us. We moved from the little kid bathroom to the big kid bathroom. Which smelled worse, by the way. But just imagine, that was very intimidating for a grade 4 student trying to pee beside a grade 8 student about a foot taller than you. And in grade 4, we were finally allowed to try out for sports games to play against other schools. I remember this one try that someone fell on their face. Then quickly, grade 5 and 6 was by like they were nothing, or it felt like these grades lasted forever. We had dare in grade 6, and we learned about drugs and peer pressure. Grade 7 came, and we upgraded us from juniors to intermediates. We also got a new perspective of school. Instead of having just 2 teachers, we had 5. Mr. Nicholson, Mr. Peterson, Mrs. Callie, Ms. Davidson, and Madame Kowalski. We were introduced to Rotary, and we had to do subjects with different teachers. The arts and English with Mr. Nicholson, science and math with Mr. Peterson, geography with Mrs. Callie, history with Ms. Davidson, and French with Madame. But Rotary wasn't the only